You open your phone. The notifications are quiet tonight, thankfully, but your bank app is open again. You scroll past transactions, lingering just long enough to feel exposed. That jacket you had to have, that dinner out that felt essential at the time, the subscription you forgot to cancel. It's not the numbers that sting, it's the quiet realization that you bought something to feel like you mattered, like you'd arrived somewhere in life where other people might notice. And yet, here you are, alone, still scrolling, still wondering why success tastes a little hollow. You say to yourself, I'll figure it out, for the 47th time. And that's when you notice it. Buying isn't about the stuff, it's about the feeling. And the feeling, like so many feelings these days, is borrowed. Most people will tell you that this is about money. Spend less, invest more, hustle harder. Maybe some will say it's about strategy. Figure out the ROI, track your net worth, buy assets, sell liabilities. That's only half the story. The other half, the part no one wants to admit, is quiet, internal, and entirely invisible. Buying things to feel successful isn't about money. It's about ego. It's about identity. It's about fear. We're wired to measure ourselves externally. Social media, colleagues, old friends we bump into, it's all a mirror, whether we like it or not. And that mirror is unforgiving. When we see someone else living better, we feel it, a hollow punch in the chest, a whisper that we aren't enough. And rather than sit with that discomfort, we reach for the fastest emotional solution. A new bag, a sleek gadget, the upgraded car. Even if just for a moment, it tells our brain, I've arrived. It's temporary, but that doesn't stop us from chasing it over and over. And here's the quiet part most advice never mentions. This isn't weakness. This is biology mixed with culture. Human wiring plus social comparison plus advertising. It's as normal as your heartbeat. The struggle isn't a flaw in you, it's a flaw in the system. You were designed to want approval. You live in a world that monetizes that want, and suddenly every purchase feels like a little negotiation with your self-worth. Think about the last time you bought something that wasn't necessary. Was it a new phone because yours works perfectly? A luxury coffee because the one down the street looks like a lifestyle? A jacket with a name that mattered more than warmth? There's a pattern here. We buy signals, not things. The object is a message, to ourselves and sometimes to others, that we are competent, stylish, powerful, or worthy. And when we internalize that message, for just a brief moment, the anxiety recedes. Except, of course, the relief is fleeting, because the brain is a terrible long-term planner when emotions are involved. Once the dopamine fades, we're back to the same question we started with. Am I enough? It's subtle, but it shapes behavior. Your ego becomes the silent boardroom, reviewing every purchase like a shareholder meeting of self-image. And the funny thing, if you listen carefully, it often laughs at you. Half irony, half inevitability. Humans are remarkably predictable. We're not terrible people. We're predictably human. Here's the part where I want you to pause. Really pause. Ask yourself, are you buying things to feel successful, or are you trying to avoid feeling behind? Let that sink in. It's uncomfortable because it's simple. There's no dramatic narrative here. No villain. Just the quiet recognition that your purchases aren't always about function, they're about emotion. And that's okay. Noticing it is the first step towards something different. We call it treating ourselves. Our credit cards call it delayed regret. Lifestyle inflation doesn't feel like inflation. It feels like I deserve this. Until you check the bank app at 2 a.m. and wonder if your brain actually took the memo. Here's where the subtle power lies. In noticing, without judgment, the pattern of behavior. In pausing before reacting. In realizing that calm, measured decisions quietly compound over time. Emotional regulation is the real financial edge. Not more income, not faster investing, not some viral side hustle. The edge is knowing when to pause, when to question, when to separate ego from income. Because when you buy to feel successful, You're trading money for a temporary sense of validation. When you buy intentionally, you trade calm clarity for utility and real satisfaction. Optionality becomes easier. Anxiety softens. Decisions stop feeling urgent. Freedom, the quiet kind, grows. And slowly you start to recognize a truth that's easy to overlook. The most successful people aren't the ones with the flashiest possessions. They're the ones whose lives aren't dictated by fleeting emotional impulses. Their power is subtle. So how do we apply this without becoming monks, or worse, spreadsheets? Start small. Treat your purchases as experiments rather than confessions. Try pausing for a day before emotional spending. Watch the urge without judgment. Notice what triggers it. A video, a social media scroll, a comparison to a neighbor's new car. Redefine enough. If you don't need it to live, and it doesn't improve your well-being, maybe the success it promises isn't worth the cost. Delay upgrades, not forever, just until the novelty fades and your desire becomes intentional. Separate ego from income. Ask yourself, if no one was watching, would I still want this? Track your emotional triggers like a scientist. Observe, record, reflect. There's no shame in noting how often your purchases are emotional rather than practical. Awareness alone creates room for choice. It's quiet work, but quiet work scales. And the more you practice, the less you're manipulated by the world's definition of success, and the more you define it yourself. So, tonight, when you look at your purchases, or your bank app, or the mirror of someone else's curated life, try this. Breathe. Observe. Reflect. Ask yourself what you're really buying, and why. Because wealth isn't loud. It's disciplined. Calm decisions compound. Security grows in silence. Progress prefers patience. And success, the kind that matters, isn't about the things you own. It's about the quiet mastery of your own impulses, the subtle freedom of living on your terms, and the small, steady victories of emotional clarity.